What's up, Alphas? It's your boy Alpha Cell, made looking, cute looking, clean looking, sexy, and we talking about Moon Knight, and we're talking about Moon Knight live. So, Moon Knight episode 1, it was very interesting. I want to know y'all thoughts on it because I actually enjoyed it thoroughly a lot because I see what it's trying to do. I see it's a setup. And I want to know y'all thoughts on it. Tori done got smart, so we got to go to him first. Joe done got dark, but we ain't never, we've seen Joe in a dark place before. We never seen Tori in a smart place. He got his glasses on. Let's go.
Let's say you get. I thought, okay, from the perspective of watching it and knowing very little, but knowing some about Moon Knight, I honestly liked the way that the storytelling's going. I was okay with the not seeing Moon Knight because I don't know who this Steven character is. I've known Marc Specter and I've known Moon Knight and I know Khonshu and everything in between there, but I understand this is a character just for the TV show, I'm guessing.
No, so, Stephen Grant is a billionaire. He's basically Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
On this show, he changed though because on this show he is a worker, as you could tell. But he's supposed to be a billionaire, so they might do the Batman style thing.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Tori, the idiot's back, Tori.
It was cool. Ethan Hawke's character was very interesting.
Hey, who that was?
Yeah,
Arthur.
The dude that was walking in the glass, the one that's Ahmed.
Arthur Harrow. Arthur Harrow. This is not. Shout out to Ben Armstrong. Yeah. Yo, how you doing today, my guy? Ben Armstrong in the chat.
Wait, this live?
Yeah, this is live.
I thought that him waking up, him walking in glass every day was a super deep metaphor for something that is far deeper than I'm willing to understand. But I think it was cool that they managed to make you care about this Steven character to the point where I wasn't constantly waiting for Moon Knight to come on the screen, even though I was, as that went on and we did the whole little switchovers from where Steven would wake up after Marc had done something. I thought that was a really cool aspect, and anytime that we can do a mirror scene where you get to see a alternate shot and it stays in place after the person moves on, that's just nostalgia cinematography that hits you right in the soul. So it was better than I thought it'd be. Like I said, from coming in not knowing a whole lot about Moon Knight as far as other Marvel characters go, to not really fiending for the Moon Knight whole grand showing, because they were smart the way they moved it in the end. But it was good. It was good. That's all. Better than I thought it would be. We'll see how these next episodes go. It seems like we're gonna do like a slow transition. They're gonna make sure they use all the footage that they put on the TV for the trailers before they get into showing us some new stuff. So
yeah, the first episode was almost all the trailers outside the Egyptian part, right?
Yeah, and even I think the scene at the end was some of the trailer stuff that they showed when the Jackal came in.
Yeah, so they mostly got rid of all the trailer stuff outside of a certain part. But can I say this before, and then we're gonna go to Joe? Oscar Isaac might be the best MCU actor because he killed that role.
Hey, he did a good job. He did.
All of them, whichever role you saw, he had 2 of them.
Who's Oscar? Who is that?
He's the one that plays Moon Knight.
Yeah, he's
okay.
He's Oscar Isaac is the really famous actor. He's playing Stephen Grant, Marc Specter, and Stephen Knight too. So he's supposed to be playing Stephen Knight. So I don't know when he came in, but that's his third personality.
I wonder if the Mr. Knight character is gonna be like separate from Moon Knight, or if it's just gonna be like
they say it's supposed to be him,
jazzy Moon Knight.
So they're supposed to be him. So we're gonna see how they do that.
Okay,
but. You, Nico, your thoughts on the first episode of this new character that most people don't know?
This is a huge endeavor, and I feel like Marvel and Disney are doing it exactly how you're supposed to. as somebody like me, I know of the Moon Knight. I've seen comics with the Moon Knight in the 90s, but I don't know his story. I didn't follow it. They chose a perfect character in a sense to just show how great their storytelling is. I'm gripped, but your first episode said, "Hey, this guy's going through shit, or he's going through stuff, and he wants to sleep, but when he sleeps, he wakes up in random places, and it's random when he wakes up, and there's people upset that he wakes up, and they're obviously already calling him an idiot." And
that camera work is amazing when he goes from one place to another.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
You really don't even recognize the time skip. I mean, they're like, "Hey, dude has a tough life. Like he's tough. He just wants to be a tour guide at a museum in London. That's all he wants to do. That's his thing. He's calling out stuff that's wrong.
He got a girlfriend that he happens to meet 3 days later on.
I'm not going to let that supersede what I need to say. She's bad. Okay. So let me say it. He's got this girl that apparently he asked out at some point, and she's bad. I'd never seen him do it like that before. I'd have seen a lot of guys from the UK. Okay. And next thing you know, he's got the boss that's kind of a B word. But she kind of is like fun, but most of the time she's, got that going on. Then he wakes up in a random village. Okay. Why? They don't tell you. Then you get a little CGI action behind him, and he turns around, people are shooting at him. We get another scene where, they've got bad aim. Dude he's not athletic at all. Y'all got machine guns on. Anyway, there's a cult, something's going on, and they just automatically know he's got this thing, and they want it, and he somehow survives this. He doesn't even have a driver's license, but he somehow survives this car crash. Next thing you know, he's vegan, but he's ordering steak and doesn't even know how to order it. It's just like it just intrigued me, and then he gets chased by a monster. They track him down, and he gets chased by a monster.
And the secret agent spot. He had the secret agent spot where you wake up and find your other identity. Go through all the weapons and the fake IDs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. This is the perfect character because he has intrigue. When we came into this, we were thinking he was going to be like this Batman, super rich dude, and he is
well, in the comic book, he is Batman.
But we are specifically talking about the Marc MCU.
Okay, killing Batman though.
Yeah, he's definitely 100% killing Batman.
In the MCU, he's just some guy just trying to be a tour guide at a museum, and stuff keeps
happening. You're the avatar for an Egyptian god,
and all we're doing is just trying to. So me walking away from this episode after he does what he does with the monster, I walk away with this. I can't wait to hear more about what a moot. What's it, a moot or a mute? A mute?
Yeah, a moot's the one. A moot's the one that's with Ethan Hawke, and then Khonshu's the one that's with Marc Specter.
So we're sitting here just like, okay, now I'm intrigued. What's up with all this Egyptian demon stuff going on and Egyptian god stuff going on? So I'm on to episode 2, and I'm ready. I can't wait for next Wednesday.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Can I?
Comics does it again?
Yo,
with basically a nobody.
Yo, can I say this? This was the first time I was upset that they didn't give us 2 episodes. I'm like, bro, this the one you didn't give us 2 on.
They were smart though.
They were smart.
They were smart the way they did it.
Like Hawkeye, we get 2 episodes, and everybody like, okay, can I get 2? Because now I want to see what's gonna happen next. Because the ending was literally like
on that audience retention.
Yo, and let's go over some things. He had the scarab. Tori, they found a way to do PG-13 cleverly by simply having him phase out and all the blood spots. He just got blood in his hand.
Yeah,
some dude.
It was smart. Like I said, I also liked the whole moment when Ethan Hawke tried to judge him with the scales and they couldn't get a read. So is it because he's already had Is it because he has two personalities, or is it because he's already technically died once, and it's only meant to judge people before they die? So I'm sort of interested to see where that goes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of intrigue that bring you to next week.
Yo, dude grabbed the scarab, said mine, and all of a sudden you hear that little noise, and then all of a sudden everybody down, he just got it in his hand. I'm like, that is cool. That's a cool camera effect.
It was. Like you said, all of the little Steven to Marc transition spots, they were cool.
You didn't even see Marc Specter.
Like, shot cool, felt cool, looked cool.
The little dog was weird. That was some weird CGI at that point. But other than that, I had no problem with it. That was one.
The dogs of the underworld at the end were cool, though.
The dog looked cool. I'm just talking about the little chase scene that looked kind of weird on chase scene. I'm like, oh, that dog looked like CGI on that chase. But other than that, some other things I want to talk about. I like Ethan Hawke was amazingly creepy.
I don't have a read on him yet.
That's how creepy he is. Like, this man walking on glass and sucking out old women's souls.
Walking on glass.
He's sucking out old women's souls, Joe.
No, I didn't catch creepy. I was more like trying to figure out who is he and what's happening, what's going on.
Do we get in a moot scene of her actually eating people's souls at some point, do you think? Because I remember that was one of the big things in the comics, was actually seeing her feasting upon said souls.
I don't know if they're gonna go that far, but
we have murder. Well, we have murder. MCU will give you
they'll kill.
Well, the specter of murder. You might not see it, but they let you know people are dead.
There's a whole bunch of them too.
That's very true.
Ethan Hawke had mercenary. I know you, mercenary. Like, I don't know what you talking about, guy. I work at a shop.
But I like that too, because we know Marc Specter was a mercenary, so he's talking from the perspective of speaking to Marc Specter and not Steven. So I liked the little duality scheme that they had going. They did it really well.
They got to go back and show us the blackout scenes. Like, I feel like they're going.
Oh, they have to.
At some point. Like, that's classic.
Even if it's the last episode and we just get a recap of everything that Marc's done as opposed to Steven's done,
that would be
I'll
serious.
take it.
That'd be serious. I would like that. That's a good idea. But we don't know. Disney's made fools of us before and just did something even better. So who am I to expect?
Yeah, like everyone who thought Victor Von Doom was on that cupcake truck. They're feeling mad dumb right now. They're like, oh, well, I mean, we thought, but I mean, as we can all see,
they hidden. They still hidden. They ain't playing me. They still hidden.
I don't know. That looked like a regular old cupcake fight through the Alps to me.
It was, but I think they just hidden this something. You don't know.
Textbook even.
Yo, Dr. Doom come in from a cupcake.
Dr. Doom just driving cupcakes around, delivering them to people.
We are not giving.
Somehow gets to space.
He found out, and then all of a sudden he's a smart guy who had a tough life, and then they guess his backstory.
I've seen so many people pull back from the Dr. Doom theory that it was just kind of funny to me, because everyone was like, well, look, there's the truck that we were all talking about, and it's this cupcake company and not Victor Von Doom, and yeah.
Can we?
To be fair, they took the guy's truck. Is that still room for him to be Victor Von Doom, the guy who's
okay? So Joe, you gonna stick with it? This?
No, I'm just asking.
Cupcake driver is Dr. Doom.
I mean, we talking Fantastic Four here. Why not stretch?
I mean, we're going into the Illuminati come Multiverse of Madness. So
we just need this the perfect lead in. This the perfect lead in to Multiverse of Madness too.
It's a really good one.
Because you start getting a little creepy, you know it's going to start dealing with Egyptian gods, which we ain't dealt with before, because now we on a whole nother level of people eating souls, and I'm like, okay, so we going to get to Midnight Sun soon, because we know Marvel want to do Midnight Sun. They really want to do Midnight Sun.
We're setting up for it.
Marvel really Kevin Feige just loves that story to the point he keep giving us everything Midnight Sun related.
Because we're getting Blade soon too, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which would flow right into Midnight Sun.
Yeah, Blade, and then Blade with the Black Knight. If you watch the end of Eternals, spoilers.
Yeah.
So Black Knight, them, and then Nurse, whatever the nurse name is, you'll have all them together, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know the base well-known superheroes from Midnight Sun storyline. So I mean, it's gonna be close though. I feel like, do you push it too far if you add in too many of these miniseries into your movies?
I don't know if they're going. I think they just gonna introduce characters and put them in the movie. I think that's that new style. I think they're gonna, like, we just got we getting Miss Marvel. We got Monica Rambeau. They gonna lead into the Marvels. Now we're gonna start getting these other characters. They gonna lead into the main movies. I think that's how they're gonna start doing this now.
Hey, and I want all our listeners out there and everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all watching, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Hit that like button. We like that, and hit that subscribe button, man. We coming with all type of stuff all the time. Listen, these are all theories, y'all, and that's the beautiful part of what the MCU is doing right now. We're talking about all these people, and we're thinking about what they're setting up. But man, at the end of the day, I mean, look at how far ahead in Loki that they push forward towards the what's the last dude's name? At the end of time.
He who remains.
He like they had him.
Kang the Conqueror.
They pushed Kane in there just out of nowhere. No type of anything. A little small subtle hints, but it is not the storylines that Marvel has written over the years. So we can't just say, it's this or it's going to be this storyline. They are creating a legit universe with the people that they've chosen all great actors, and I'm just going along for the ride. I'm not even trying to guess and speculate anymore.
Well, they just announced Nova. They did just announce Nova.
I mean, it sounds like it's lining up, but watch the curve happen somehow. Watch the curve happen where it's like, no, it's not leading up to Illuminati. It's actually going to be this, but it's still Illuminati, but it's not. They just been taking us on this ride, and I love the ride. Like, I love it. Nothing is canon from the movies other than who's in the Avengers at this point.
Yeah,
members of the Avengers, cool, but man, a storyline everywhere.
Yo, how good this movie is always. Every time, like, it been how long? It been about 4 or 5 months. And then you go like, oh my, I don't know about this Miss Marvel. And then they put out MoonKnight. You be like, see, this is why we watch this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, even though the show don't look stylistically like I'm gonna like it, I'm like, they gonna pull it off. What? Watch, they gonna pull it off. Somehow they gonna make it interesting. Because every time
they did better than I thought they would. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from episode 1 of MoonKnight.
They made
pleasantly surprised.
When they told me Stephen Grant was gonna be his main thought process, I'm like, I remember him, but he was only like,
I didn't even remember him. I was like, who is this?
Stephen Grant in the comic book is used to sneak around in high society and get information. So that's his personality. That's what his trait was. Marc Specter was his.
He's with Alex Jones with the crazy outburnings.
Yeah, he basically just a rich guy who gets in with the rich people and know what they're doing. Marc Specter is the mercenary who hang around mercenary, and Stephen Knight is the like regular professional guy. So he got 3 personalities, got like 3 different roles to play for MoonKnight. So each personality is like literally used for a specific role. This personality look like they gonna make him a little more. This guy is just a regular guy who can get away with stuff because he's just a regular dude, and Marc Specter is a mercenary who's a dangerous person. So they might look like they switching up because, like I said, unless they make Stephen Grant rich at the end of the show because he went to Egypt again and found some money. But
yeah,
but
and let's give a shout out to the CGI doesn't look bad.
Oh, that's good. I thought that one scene I thought it looked amazing to me.
Yeah,
the costume looked amazing too. I was worried about the costume a little bit.
Well, see, at first I thought they were doing CGI cape. And then after he turned around, I was like, oh, we full CGI. Okay, this looks good.
Yeah. By the way, if you're an anime company, just find Disney and like, hey, we're going to make a movie with y'all because y'all CGI be. The Netflix version, I don't know, y'all need to upgrade your stuff. But, when he was talking to Marc in that bathroom, that was so lit to me. Listen, Steven, let me in control right now. We're gonna die. That's how I be thinking. I'm like, this dude ain't even real. And guys that did an amazing part.
I like the cone suits part in the when he tells him to let Marc take control after he comes out of the window of Ethan Hawke's place. I thought that was.
I like how he calls him the idiot's bet.
Yeah,
that's Stephen Grant's name throughout the whole show. From the idiot is here. Why is the idiot here?
Yeah,
but the whole time the little scene when he's like, because that's how I react. I'm like, bro, I am tripping. Some dude that looked like me is talking to me in the mirror, telling me to take control of my body. It's a giant dog trying to kill me. It's over with, dog. I'm tripping. This might not be real. I don't know what's going on. Did I take drugs? I'm missing 3 days. I don't know what's going on in my life. I'm still thinking it's Friday and it's Sunday, and the girl I like that I was hyped for. I even ordered steak, and I'm a vegan, and I don't know how to order steak. Why? Because I'm not the original character. I was just born a few years ago. Because for people that don't know, Marc Specter is the original. He's the mercenary. He the one that go to Egypt. Stephen Grant is a made-up personality. He's basically He's Batman, basically.
There's your spoiler. There's your spoiler right there of what to expect, possibly.
Well, that's the comic book. I don't. I'm pretty sure probably.
I was going to say they made some real departures from the comic book.
So. That'll be interesting. That this whole time we're following somebody, but the story's not about this Steven character that we know that calls his mom every day. And they hit you with the twist, like, no, this is about me. And we get into episode 6, and then we just go forward with Marc Specter. Like, it's showing a lot of promise, y'all.
It really is.
And I think it's impressive because, again, it's a known character, but little known character. He's not a part of the big 3 as far as X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers. He's not a part of them. He's Marc Specter. He's a whole nother story, and that's what makes this impressive, that they are giving interest. But just think of all the other little known characters in the Marvel universe that they could just pull out their ass and make a series and it'll be good.
They did it with the Guardians of the Galaxy, so they
that's the
Guardian of the Galaxy hit. It hit.
They did it with I promise you, people didn't. I
didn't know about Guardians of the Galaxy.
And to be honest with you, they did it with Iron Man, so it started with an unknown character. People like to think Iron Man was known. Iron Man, people didn't know Tony Stark existed. Go online. Go online in 2001 and see how many people thought Iron Man was a robot. Go look it up on Avengers. Go look it up. Go back, bro. Sometimes
that's a read.
Bro, I'm telling you, go back in 2000 and watch how. Look at how
he's an Avenger.
Avengers wasn't popular.
He had one of the early morning cartoon shows too, though. Iron Man had one too in the late 90s.
And look at the ratings, Tori. They canceled it. Tori. Did they not cancel it in the season?
I'm just saying. I remember watching
the show
it.
got canceled, Tori, because it had pulled no ratings.
That very well could be. It wasn't no Spider-Man or X-Men, but it was still there.
Iron Man was not known in the 90s barely at all.
You are tripping,
Go look at the sales. Go look at Iron Man sales. Go look at Iron Man sales. This is Drex, bro. That's because you were
That's disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like more people knew about Iron Man as opposed to we're talking about Iron Man compared to MoonKnight.
Not compared to that, but I'm talking about in general Iron Man sales before 2002.
I believe the movie could have done a lot to make him go mainstream, but I remember like
Iron Man is
mainstream and
Iron Man was not popular as a comic book character, Joe.
You are tripping.
Joe, Iron Man was not popular as a character, Joe.
Everybody loved Tony Stark. Are you
Joe, people thought Iron Man was a literal robot.
No, they didn't.
Joe, yes, they did, Joe.
I feel like this is revisionist history right now.
For y'all, because we know Tony Stark here. I'm telling you, before that movie, he was not popular. I'm telling you right now, before that movie.
You know what? I'm a little older than you. Maybe that's why I respect him. I got to see some of the comics from the 80s. My uncle collected comics through the 80s and through the early 90s. I got to read some of his old comics. Iron Man was popping. Are you kidding me?
Iron Man sales was terrible. They almost canceled. It's the reason nobody bought Iron Man.
Okay, go ahead.
Tor, they bought Spider-Man. They bought X-Men. They bought the Hulk.
It is true.
They bought the Hulk.
Iron Man was the big one that did not get bought by some major company when Marvel was trying to save themselves from bankruptcy.
Nobody bought him because he wasn't popping, Joe. Joe, they bought Spider-Man. They bought X-Men. They bought the Fantastic Four. They bought the Hulk. If they bought them, why didn't they buy Iron Man?
Fantastic Four flop. They're
multiple times.
In the 80s, they flopped. As a cartoon, they flopped.
As movies, they flopped.
Right? But they still got bought. So they flopped and they got bought.
They did get picked up.
So they got bought and they flopped again. What are you talking about? Iron Man holds way more weight than the Fantastic
Joe,
Four.
that's the point.
No,
Joe, they flopped and they still wanted them.
No, that makes them stupid for buying them first. We see what happened when you buy Iron Man.
Joe.
Well, Fox is a Disney company now, so I mean it doesn't really the stuff that they bought during the 90s.
When they bought Iron Man.
Joe, Marvel, Kevin Feige them did that.
I'm saying that don't matter. They bought him, and what happened?
Because they made him relevant, Joe. They made him more relevant.
They didn't. Oh, this. I'm sorry. I almost said the N-word. This man here is trying to tell me Iron
Man. Tor. Why did they buy Iron Man, Tor? We know why they didn't buy Thor. Thor cannot.
I'm just saying. I knew
we don't know that.
You can't buy Thor. Thor is a character that anybody can use. Thor cannot be copyright trademark.
Yeah, I would say that's public domain.
That's public domain. So he didn't. We know why he didn't get bought. Hulk got bought.
You talking about getting bought? I'm talking about.
It's the reason why, Joe. They are going broke, and they are selling all their characters to stay afloat, and nobody wanted Iron Man.
You obviously Fox doesn't know what the hell they're doing. We know that now. I'm talking about any comic book nerd will know that Iron Man is that guy. Are you kidding me right now?
Joe, nobody cared about Iron Man, my guy. I'm just telling you, Joe.
I'm ready to make a phone call to Georgia right now. You got me ready to make a phone call to somebody.
Nobody cares, dog. I'm telling you right now. Robert,
Iron Man lore has more clout than Captain America. Are you kidding me?
Joe.
Oh, that's taking it a little bit far.
Joe, Captain America didn't get bought either. That's because they thought he was lame by the 90s. But in the 70s, Captain America was ultra.
Captain America was beating up Nazis in 1950.
No, I'm saying he was a Nazi god back then, bro. He was he was Hulk Hogan, dog.
I'm talking about when they actually started going over the edge, going to the edge, and started giving us real stories. Iron Man was up there.
That's in 2008, Joe. We ain't talking about.
No, I'm talking the 80s when they could actually do shit and they had colorful fucking hair and all that stuff, and they went at a Beatles concert. I'm talking that real deal.
Joe, ain't nobody remember that, Joe.
We talk,
Joe, you and your uncle read that, and not many other people. I read it too. Not many other people. Joe, when I went to school, ain't nobody was talking about Iron Man, Joe. Joe, when I was little, ain't nobody in my school talking about Iron Man beside me. That's how I know it wasn't popular.
I remember watching the cartoon. I've read some comic books. I just don't know.
I'm gonna leave that there. It was hard for me to find a comic book in Mississippi quiet as kept, so I'm gonna leave it there.
This one in Pearl right now is a big comic book shop that sell that all the time. So I'm just telling you, Joe, Iron Man was not popular. Joe,
way to Mississippi.
Joe, Iron Man was not popular.
No way to Mississippi.
Joe, look at how much Tony Stark.
I feel like he was still known though, even if he wasn't selling all like that.
Well, all of them was known. Captain America was known, but he wasn't selling because it was late in time. But in the 50s, he was selling.
I'm talking about the time that's relevant, which is the 80s all the way through the 90s. That was the comic book age.
I don't know. Is it the 80s when they made Tony Stark an alcoholic though? Yes. So it was a little bit of
That's possible. That's possible. Yeah. I'll give you that price for the square too, and it is skyrise.
Talking about the press, Tony.
Now I'm blaming it on Tony Stark. My smoking addiction is on Tony Stark. I'm with Zelmay now.
Joe bringing up
Tony
Stark.
I remember.
Joe, they tried to make Tony Stark. Joe, they tried to make Tony Stark sympathetic because he wasn't selling. In the 90s.
I'm bringing through colorized. Because that was what the 90s was.
Joe, he wasn't selling, Joe.
The 90s was the most depressing time in comic history. Spider-Man's clones is dying. Spider-Man's having abortions. It was all types of.
Well, that's when they sold it.
They sold him. See, Tony's slowly coming to my side as we speak.
No, Spawn is running around doing what he's doing. Man, Image Comics was a thing. What are you talking about? A lot of these
Joe,
people.
who knows Image Comics besides us? We nerds, Joe. We talking about
Man of War is a treasure. Okay, we're not talking bad about Image Comics right now. Man of War is a comic book treasure. People go read Man of War.
Bruh, the 90s was the best time for comic books. Iron Man was involved, and he led up to a lot of that shit.
It was kind of a wild time. It was a very toxic time in comic books. We were losing the colored sheen of the 80s and entering the dark grunge period of the 90s.
Shout out to the
I'm on Comic Vibe, Joe. I'm on Comic Vibe right now, and they said before Robert Downey Jr., nobody cared. Iron Man was a douche, and nobody cared about Iron Man. Look at these comments. I'm going through them right now. Nobody cared before 2007.
I'm sorry. What relevant source are you talking to me about right now?
I'm going through the old blogs from 10 years ago. I'm asking 20 years ago, Joe.
What relevant source are you quoting from right now?
I'm going through old school.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking can you tell me what relevant source you're talking from right now? Let's see if they actually are relevant.
Joe, you
can't click on the first thing that says Iron Man sales. You can't click on the first thing in Google and say that's the relevant source.
Joe,
I'm talking to you from the source of somebody.
I told you it wasn't selling, so how are we gonna judge if it ain't selling, Joe?
Are you saying it wasn't selling because you didn't buy it?
No, I didn't. I said we liked it because we bought it, Joe.
You didn't know about Iron Man.
I'm telling you, everybody didn't know, Joe. Joe, it didn't sell, Joe. I can't make up numbers, Joe. Joe, I can't make up numbers.
Speaking of absolutions that are
Joe,
not
numbers. Joe, men lie, women lie, I lie. Sometimes numbers don't.
What? So tell me a number from a relevant source. That's real, a real source.
Joe, you can just go.
Well, I mean, if you go to comicbook.com, you can look at a lot of the beginning sales numbers, and a lot of them are not what you'd expect for some of the bigger superheroes and IPs of the day.
He coming over to me. You see how this? He coming over to me.
No, you didn't even say comicbook.com.
We on it right now.
He said some random ass source that you find next to Essence magazine in 95. That's not it. Come on, man. It was in one of the best arcade games of all time, The Avengers.
Joe,
I'm trying to think back on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Joe, just because you fell in love with Iron Man.
I remember the Iron Man cartoon. I remember an Iron Man run through. They even MTV did a little Iron Man series when they did the Spider-Man series too, if I remember. But that was post Iron Man movie.
We ain't talking about post Iron Man. We talking about before.
I know that's why I had to say that, because I'm thinking that was post Iron Man movie, so it wouldn't really come into play in what we're talking about. But
Comics Explained will tell you too. By the way, he said the same thing.
I feel like he was more popular than what we're giving him credit for, but he might not be as big as. He obviously wasn't as big as the X-Men or Spider-Man or freaking
or Hulk, Fantastic Four,
or Hulk. And Hawke survived being played by Lou Ferrigno in the 80s, so...
No, he's not as popular, Joe. Go look up Comics Explained. He'll tell you,
Is
too.
he more popular now than he was?
100%. Easily more popular than he was. A lot.
But you trying to act like my man's irrelevant.
That man was irrelevant, but Robert Downey Jr. played him. Let's just keep it like that. He was irrelevant. Nobody wanted to buy him. Kevin Feige said, "I got you."
I feel like that's taking it too far.
No, I'm telling y'all too. Robert Downey Jr. say that man's career, bro.
Man, you just revived this whole.
Bro, if Robert Downey Jr. didn't play that role,
you just woke me up. I just, I thought we was gonna do Man Cave, and we're gonna talk about our feelings. We're gonna talk about goddamn PlayStation tears and how we gonna do stuff. We're gonna talk about are we happy about Soar? You just woke up a beast. You just woke up a beast with this crap.
Before Robert Downey Jr., if Iron Man failed and Robert Downey Jr. didn't play it, Marvel was gonna fall in as a company.
Man, the first Iron Man was 20 years ago, though, wasn't it?
Yes, 2007. 2007, 2008.
Man,
I don't
know. I fall on the fence on this. I feel like saying that he was irrelevant until Robert Downey Jr. played him is a little too far. Now, I can agree with he might not have sold as much as the bigger comics.
Nowhere near sold as much, Tor.
Well, you got to think the 90s is when the comics were dying, though. Like, they didn't have their big resurgence until
my source told me. I said I need to settle a debate about Iron Man. My boy saying he was irrelevant until the movie.
Yeah, your friend, even Joe Source is telling me this. What?
And no. I'm reading you what I sent him.
Why you didn't say that right?
I said
this was talking about Moon Knight, and we made this about Iron Man.
I said I need to settle a debate about Iron Man. My boy saying he was irrelevant until the movie. My source, my uncle, who I have cited many a time, the president of Nerd Nation, said, send me a meme with some dude looking casually at the screen and saying, it do be facts though. You're right. Iron Man was irrelevant.
If
your thoughts tell you, bro, I'm telling you. I like Iron Man.
It doesn't feel like it though. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel like. But I look back at 20 years ago. I was like 10 years old, so I was watching. All
right. And I'm a big nerd, so I remember, bro. Iron Man, people didn't want him, dog, and I remember that because I liked him. And I used to argue with people. I'm like, bro, why is he not popular? And they're like, he a douche.
Well, because he drinks and beats his wife like Ant-Man did, if we're going to be real about it.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Joe wasn't prepared to lose this.
Marvel versus Capcom. That's going to be, I'm always going to lean on Marvel versus Capcom.
What? And spamming the shoulder cannon from freaking, I was going to say, I remember Marvel vs. Capcom. Everybody wants to spam Iron Man shoulder cannons till you get caught in a sick Venom combo.
X-Men and the Infinity Stones. I just Marvel and the Infinity Stones. I just want to say that Iron Man was a damn good character in that.
This how I know I liked Iron Man and people didn't. I remember he slept with Gamora.
He did smack cheeks in the 90s.
He smacked the girl from the Eternals. What's her name? She wasn't in the movie. She was on the show. She was in the.
He also I'm pretty sure he smacked Black Bolt's old lady too, Medusa, in the 90s.
And him and Black Bolt almost got in a fight over that.
He would have lost that fight though. Let's keep it real.
That's how I know, because I'm like, people don't care about this man just sleep with everybody. It was interesting to me.
I guess it wasn't revisionist history. Maybe Iron Man wasn't popping until. But like I said, that was so long ago.
No, I was telling y'all, though, y'all forget Iron Man, Tony. Bro, we was like, when he come out, we were like, what, 14? Well, I was 14, Tori might was 13, and Joe was what, 16, 17?
That was definitely in high school.
I was gonna say it would have been, because like I said,
like a freshman.
I remember the cartoon. It was in rotation,
and but that Hawke show was bad.
The Hawke show was terrible, but it stayed on TV.
Yeah. For a little.
The first Hawke movie was bad.
That's fair too.
But the Hawke was so popular, he just kept going. Like I said,
Lou Ferrigno ruined the Hawke.
So we said all that to say this: Disney
makes people relevant.
They make stars, because now this same Iron Man is going off into, Ultimate Spider-Man in the cartoon, and he's being a relevant character, and we're happy to see Iron Man hang out with Spider-Man. We're happy.
I mean,
we watched the Avengers. Tony Stark is
if you think about it, after the movie, Tony Stark turned into Robert Downey Jr. in the comic books.
He looked like him, bro.
He even looked like him. He did not look like him pre-Iron Man movie. He had like long hair and like the you remember the dude, what was the bad guy's name from Gargoyles? Richard Thanatos. He looked like him. He had the ponytail and the goatee with no mustache though.
That was vintage 80s Tony Stark. 70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say
slick back millionaire. But I'll give you.
Now he looks well trimmed. He was looking wild in the 80s and early 90s.
I don't think Tony Stark did anything in the 90s because he was way too overshadowed by way too many other great comic books.
Spider-Man was killing. Spider-Man stayed killing.
Spider-Man killed the 90s easily.
I saw so much Spider-Man.
We love to watch Peter Parker fail. That's why Spider-Man stayed killing though. Ain't nothing better than watching Peter Parker lose.
And plus, I think it's hard. I think Tony Stark was always hard to translate over everything else till Robert Downey Jr. because he was a douche.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was a douche too, though, and that's why they fit so well.
He's a popular douche. Has he always been?
Yeah, but you think about all the court videos of Robert Downey Jr. acting crazy, or him, the paparazzi catching him drunk in the 90s, ready to smack a bit. You know what I mean? Robert Downey Jr. was really about that life.
And by the way, I said Marvel saved Robert Downey Jr. too, if you know the story. So they both helped each other a lot.
All this is fair. Thank you, Mickey Mouse, for what you've done. And we said all that to say this again, is that Disney is good at
Joe was wrong.
It took for Disney for me to admit that I'm wrong. And then also
the mouse got the mouse got the grip.
Again, the Moon Knight, he is a lesser known character, and they're making him intriguing. And I can see Moon Knight Funko Pops and Disney having.
Oh, they already got him, but we're gonna get a new run. I need a mummy one. That mummy outfit was crazy.
It's gonna be insane. And they already made the mummy reference in the when he was showing the little girl in the museum. So I mean that I forgot about that little tidbit. So I mean we in for a ride, and I was wrong. And thank you.
They did a Big Lebowski reference too. Remember when the dad from the Roseanne show, when he gets out and breaks the window in the Big Lebowski, he's like, "This is what happens when you take a drive with a stranger in the Alps." And now Marc Specter's getting in cupcake fights with random strangers in the Alps. That's what happens.
I like when he was calling security and they just all say praise.
I was about to say all of them were part of the cult, but that was a nice little tie back, because I remember Amut having the power to possess people in the comic books. Like she could go through and take control of people, and so that'll make for, like, if he just has to worry about anyone being possessed by Amut at any point in time, that adds an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, because a whole village.
I still want to see a giant alligator with lion paws, though. Once we get a good picture of Amut, I need it to be comic friendly. She ain't got to be eating spirits, I suppose, but she got to be an alligator mixed with a lion.
By the way, I think Disney did change Stephen Grant to be different from Batman. Because one thing we know is because Stephen Grant is Bruce Wayne, essentially. If you watch it,
is he originally a one of the personalities of Marc Specter in the comics?
He's a rich personality. He's one.
Okay, I was going to say, because I know he's got a couple as far as comic continuity goes. There's a couple.
He got Mr. Knight, Marc Specter, Stephen Grant. I think he might have one more, but I ain't keep.
I was going to say, I think there might be one more, but we'll see as the TV show progresses.
But yeah, Stephen Grant would be Bruce Wayne, and I don't think they want it to completely be like, oh, this is a Batman ripoff, because that's what Moon Knight essentially was. He was a Batman to kill people.
Okay. Yeah. Can I add another thorn to your hat, or another feather to your hat? I wish it was a thorn today, guys.
Look, he was like, I'm trying to put thorns in the crown, but we adding feathers to the hat.
To your hat, Zelmay. Verbatim. I mean, they had to basically sell off the good superhero Spider-Man, X-Men, because Marvel was broke. Iron Man was pretty B-level, Thor was like C-level, and everybody else was pretty mid. That's the beauty of Marvel. They were able to scrape together a bunch of lames and made them great. You're fucking welcome, Zelmay. Pat yourself on the back, because I'm for sure not going to do it.
Shout out to Kevin Feige. By the way, for the people that don't, Kevin Feige was on the first X-Men movie, which was the good one.
The good one.
So he knows about how to make a good comic book movie, and what he has done with Marvel. All I know is he made Monica Rambeau probably one of the most popular characters. So,
which is wild, because she would, if we're saying Thor was C-level, Monica Rambeau is like
Joe. She was the original Captain. She was the original woman Captain Marvel. And they were like, "Yo, she."
Okay, I was gonna say the original Captain Marvel was Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. And she was so unpopular, they had to take it off her and give it to. So they just took a character and be like, "Hey, we take a black character that we had, which DC should take credit. We have a black character. Let's make her popular." Shout out to this, and please, if we can get Blue Marvel, I will pop. That's all I want. I want Blue Marvel.
You gonna run
Where
up?
Does he come in though?
Like Stone Cold music came out. If you get,
I'm a pop like they do. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Joe. Blue Marvel is so bro. He took on an image of one of them clones of Shield Girl 1-on-1 dog, and nobody else can.
He got beat down by the Watchers though.
He got jumped.
By the Watchers of all people.
Hey, bro, you saw the Watcher with that.
They were tired of watching.
Yo, you.
No, I'm saying like the Watchers. That's if they're jumping you, that means it's serious.
Yeah, it means they were tired of watching, and that don't happen too often. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They ain't even pop in for Thanos. I like how we're touching how the other gods in these pantheons didn't jump in during the Thanos either. They were like, we're going to stay out of this. I mean, half the population.
Which is interesting. Yeah. I mean, now that you think about it, as they're starting to introduce celestial type and, universal threat kind of people, they just let that happen. That's interesting. I wonder if that's, I mean, they gave us the Eternal. So we know they exist.
Curious about,
and if we're getting Gore the God Butcher, and we're going to get the all black Necro sword, Null's coming, people. Whether it's in 3 or 4 years,
Sony's
or
about,
a little
Sony's
bit longer,
about to announce a new Spider-Man movie, so Sony gonna milk that. Sony about to, like, that's all we got, dog. Let's milk it.
They got Tom Holland working overtime.
Because we still talking about we still got Carnage issues that they can.
I still liked Woody Harrelson's Carnage.
His Carnage is amazing. It's just the story kind of.
I'm just saying from the parts of Carnage.
Like Kevin Feige hit you with.
No, I'm saying not from the actual movie. I'm saying the fact that Carnage exists and Venom exists, like there's other gods there because Carnage, in a sense, is of a god or a demon.
You got to have Null if you're going to have symbiotes. I mean, I know Null was a retroactively created character, but still.
And it's made by like
The King in Black was their best comic run in how long?
A long time, actually.
I was about to say The King in Black was actually good.
But yeah, they got a lot they can play with. We know Kang is in the universe. We know now we got Egyptian gods.
I'm just wondering. The real question I have is: are we going to get too off kilter if we're going to introduce all these celestial beings, and then we're going to add in the different? I think they're going to be
all separated in groups.
Are we going to get into the Sky Fathers once we start touching on the pantheons more? Because we know that all of the Sky gods is about pantheons.
Zeus is about to show up, so he's already cast on Thor.
But if we get Zeus, then we have to get. Well, we've already got Odin. So we're only missing a couple more Sky Fathers.
Yeah, so and Odin's passed away, so I don't know how they're gonna handle that with Zeus here. But we got a lot. They got a lot they can play with, but I think it's gonna be separated. I think we got I think we're gonna have a celestial group that handle celestial things. I think we're gonna have the horror group that handle horror things, and then we got the Captain America group that's gonna handle like down to earth things. And like I said, I don't know what
the AAA. Yeah. We got the AAA. We got the B League.
And somehow Spider-Man can just go through whichever one he feel like because he's so popular. He could just.
But that's always been Spider-Man's thing. You never know what Marvel property Spider-Man can pop in on. Peter Parker's a photographer. He could end up anywhere.
Yeah, Spider-Man can do horror. Spider-Man could be in the horror aspect, which will be Blade, Black Knight, MoonKnight.
We got to do Blade right though. If we're even if we're not bringing back Wesley Snipes, which we should. Wesley Snipes is forever Blade, in my opinion, regardless of how you feel about Blade Trinity.
Freaking Blade.
I don't know. As long as we're not getting sticky fingers as Blade, like when they first tried to do the Blade TV show back in the mid 2010s, I think it was.
Mahershala Ali dope though. So if they pick anybody else, I'll have Graham Mahershala Ali. Amazing.
Yeah.
So and even Wesley Snipes, like, yo, that dude. If anybody could have took my spot, that dude I'm kind of okay with.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali is amazing.
It's just for me, it's a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, fair.
Blade. I mean, Blade's another one. After Wesley Snipes played Blade, Blade started looking like Wesley Snipes. Go look at Blade pre the Blade movie. He did not look like Wesley Snipes. He had like
that movie. He was bald headed.
He was bald headed, and then during the 90s, before it happened, the cartoon one had like the little square cut afro.
Yeah. But yeah, Tori, I think they're gonna start separating Marvel into like categories. Like, this is the Celestial group. Yeah. This is the Space group.
I just feel like they could run into each other in a real weird way. If we just start Shanghaiing in all of the pantheons from the different gods, now we have the Celestials coming in from outer space, and then we're still going to have the Avengers to try and deal with actual on Earth problems.
They got the X-Men coming.
I've got faith. I'm not gonna lie. I've got faith they'll do it the right way. It might not be the way that I care for, but I think it'll be the way that's the most cohesive to the story.
Like, if you got any question, like, why the Celestials didn't, like, I kind Egyptian guys probably don't care because they're like, hey, why would we care? We still got people to sacrifice. Now, Celestials, he kind of ruined their plans because they, as we found out in the movie, they kind of use people to. I'm like, wouldn't y'all be upset that this man is on purpose doing it to y'all because he know what y'all doing? Because one of y'all.
Well, think about Galactus. Thanos snapped out half of Galactus's food source when he snapped. How would you feel if somebody came into your crib and cleared out half the food after you went to the grocery store?
He planets though. He ain't not necessarily like people. It's like planets though.
Well, no, because he only ate planets with living beings on it. I thought.
But like, he still got half.
Did he just go to random stars and be like num num num? Or I thought it had that. I thought he picked up on it through like intelligent life. That's how.
But if you still got.
That's why he sent the Silver Surfers out.
But if you still have half a population, you can still survive. Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on how hungry you are.
But the Celestials would be like, yo, bro, this how you make more Celestials is by fusing the planet. By having so much intelligent life. And we found that in the movie. I'm like, why didn't y'all stop Thanos? Because like he did it because of y'all. One of y'all destroyed his planet.
I was gonna say, he literally did it because of this.
Yeah, so I don't know why y'all wouldn't stop. That's a question. But Egyptian guy probably wouldn't care. As long as y'all got souls to feed me, I don't care.
I guess that makes sense. I just figured if we're going to go with all these different pantheons, we're going to play into the creation myths. Y'all really just didn't care about half the universe after you made it. You was like, whatever. Thanos can come through and break half of it. I ain't trying to throw down.
Nobody stepped in, batted an eye or anything.
I was going to say, no.
The Watcher watched.
Besides Thor. Thor and the Valkyries were the only
pantheon.
People from different pantheons that came in. Everybody else just, no Hercules, no Zeus. We didn't get Ares to pop in. We didn't get... Baldur didn't come. None of the Asgardians even came, really, did they? Besides Valkyrie,
they kind of got dealt with by old girl. So
yeah, I guess if you think about it like that, they did sort of. Everybody got sort of beat down before,
and then Thanos came and whooped their ass again. So.
Hercules still could have popped out. So could Zeus. He could have shot down, thrown a lightning bolt. Something. They do
that. Thor, Love and Thunder do it. That's in June. They do it. That's a quick after this, right?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be this, and then this gonna lead into Doctor Strange, and then
I wish they'd give us a Hercules Amadeus Cho story, because Hercules and Amadeus Cho always had some of the most amazing chemistry on panel to me. And I feel like Kevin Feige, with his love of the actual Marvel IPs, he just adds something to it.
Zeus got to address why he didn't show up. So, unless,
yeah, he really does. He's got why you just stayed on Mount Olympus while half of existence got snapped
unless they
out.
was like exempt from it and they didn't care.
Now that's why I was wondering if even some of the god pathos, if you will, if some of them got
I
don't know if they, because Thor he didn't worry about it.
I don't think so, because I think that would have brought him in. If some of them disappeared, I feel like that brings
in. And Thanos didn't even act like Thor was gonna get lost. So I don't. You like, oh, you hear it, you missed too late. And Thor wasn't worried about it.
So maybe they were exempt from certain parts of the Infinity Stones power.
Was Valky gone? She was still there, right? Or was she gone?
No, Valkyrie didn't go during the snap.
Yeah,
She was still
all
there.
the people from that seem to stay. Like everybody from like Thor lineage.
So deities seem to stay. It appears
okay, that would make sense though if God's got to kick
I hope
it.
they explain it at least so we can understand. Because right now we just making conjecture up.
Yeah, pure speculation, people.
But it would make sense because none of them left. None of the gods left, so it could make sense. I didn't see none of them get snapped away.
BG, I'm sorry. I almost cussed.
Even Wanda, who's like ultra powerful, got snapped away. So I'm like, oh.
Gotti's like, I don't care.
Gotti's over here asleep like he's supposed to be and laying down being a good dog. And BG's one over here behind the scenes being a phantom.
I got one more question before we get out here. Loki kind of made the stones look like they paperweights now, and now we got Scarlet Witch. Are we going to like extra levels of power now?
It's going somewhere.
We could be hitting Omega levels of potency with some of these people.
I mean, we have timelines where the Infinity Stones are just like you said,
they're throwing around in the office,
just tossing around.
And Kang runs that, by the way. Kang is the leader of that. So even he who remains Kang was the leader of that. So he's like Kang, like these paperweights to me. So if Kang is that.
That's an interesting, like that messed me up when they first did it. It's like, oh, what, one of these? And it's like Loki's trying to steal them. He's like, they don't do nothing. What you talking about? Well,
ain't gonna hurt you, man.
In the multiverse, like they mean everything. Like people have killed their own daughters for these stones, and they just like, what, this? You trying to steal this?
I got a whole draw full. It's just a full.
Yeah.
I was like, that was
these from the local corner store over in Celestial Alley.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful piece of writing as well, as like for the last 15, 20 years, we have feared these stones. What do they do? And then they just automatically, they're nothing.
Yeah, they don't matter.
They don't matter in the grand scheme.
Like in the comic book, they made a rule that they only useful in their universe.
Yep, they only work in their universe. Sort of like the ultimate nullifier.
Yeah,
it only works in its universe. You can't bring one ultimate nullifier from
I think they bring it
193 and take it to 618 and it's gonna still work.
Yeah, they did that. They did that in What If too, where it didn't work in that universe because she was trying to grind the Infinity Stone, and be like, oh, they don't work for this universe's Infinity Stone.
Trying to get some of that Infinity powder.
Yeah, so
that would suck. It like everything you work your life for, and then you go somewhere else with it. It's like that don't mean nothing here.
Hey, it's like your concealed carry permit. You're cool here in Indiana, but if you cross the state line the wrong way, you're gonna go to jail.
You go to Kentucky reference.
Yeah.
No, we're safe in Kentucky. Our concealed carry permits work in Kentucky.
Illinois probably don't work like that.
I know they work in Kentucky and Michigan. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like they're good in all the border states in Indiana, though. I might be wrong. I don't know. What about Illinois? I know my permit works here.
You know what? To be honest, the rest of Illinois outside Chicago is actually a pretty pleasant place.
Really pretty.
It's cool. The people are chill. Like it's really Indiana 2.0. Except
you're not gonna diss my cousin, Amber.
I'm not dissing nobody but the people outside.
I will tell them to act up, Andy.
If you out here killing people in front of a Gucci store, we got a problem, okay?
But you can go to places like Silwaukee, some Indian named city in Illinois, and you'll be just fine. It's a great place to live.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, as long as you stay out of the inner city, you're gravy.
That's like everybody thinking how California is just Los Angeles. Like, no, there's literally a Midwestern place part.
I was about to say, but I think what throws us off is how big Los Angeles is, because Los Angeles County, like the whole, is one of the bigger counties in the United States, I do believe, because you got to think it's split up into South Central. You got Compton there. You got goddamn all of LA is just chopped up by.
Just like these Infinity Stones are just what they are. So I'm glad we don't live in a universe with the Infinity Stones at this point, at least that I know of. So we got that to be.
I ain't trying to get
guys. We live in a world where I can tell you that I was wrong.
Who would have the Infinity Stone? Would it be? Would Will Smith get the Infinity Stone?
Oh my God!
Nah,
Kanye.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones has one of them.
What if Kanye got one?
I think
Pete Davidson will survive the night.
I think he already has, and like this is just where he thought was the best. This was the best outcome for all of America at this point.
That's why we saw him at the soccer game with Kim. He was using the Infinity Stones that way he could go to his kids' soccer games.
and him and North had to have the same like facial expressions every time they did anything.
Okay, I got one last question. We gotta get out of here. So, who do y'all think we're gonna get a surprise appearance from another maybe not as known character that's introduced in this series or Miss Marvel?
You feel like there has to be an accomplice somewhere, right? And that's how they've done every other movie. There's another hero in there somewhere,
that just shows
right?
up randomly out of nowhere.
Do you think it's someone outside of Moon? Are you talking someone outside of Moon Knight? Someone that he's never interacted with before? Or are we talking about like known collaborators?
Maybe somebody from Midnight Sun, but it's not quite the same.
Because obviously, I think we're gonna get we got to get a Doctor Strange crossover at some point, correct? Just because of how tightly wound Moon Knight and Doctor Strange's stories can be.
Well, Doctor Strange did kind of help put together the Midnight Sun, so maybe.
I was about to say, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of like along the lines of Moon Knight's character, which I'm still waiting for a Howling Commandos reference, like a good one, because I'm a corny nerd like that. Like I'm trying to see.
I think we might get Werewolf by Night sooner or later in this shit.
Yeah.
No, they're doing the show on it.
I'd honestly, as far as Moon Knight goes, like I said, I'd like to see the Howling Commandos. I'm fiending for a proper rendition of not the, I don't know why I wanted to say the Eternals, but the Inhumans.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see an Inhumans character at some point done right.
Wouldn't it be more doper to put that in Miss Marvel though?
Yeah. If we're gonna lead into I'm thinking if we're gonna lead into mutants in the MCU at some point, you just tie the Inhumans in there
to put them together.
So yeah, I guess I wouldn't want to see one of them. Just give me somebody that would. I'm trying to think with Marc Specter being a mercenary, who he could run into doing that. And honestly, like I said, give me the Howling Commandos. Give me any of the Howling Commandos. I'll take them.
What if we just randomly got Sabretooth before he was Sabretooth? That'll be a hint at that something's gonna happen in Multiverse of Madness. Before he's Sabretooth, and then all of a sudden he come out of Multiverse of Madness, all of a sudden his gene activate.
Remember when Childish Gambino randomly appeared in Spider-Man as the robber before he became?
He was the Prowler before he was the Prowler.
So they dropped that in there, but like, will we get that? You know, they drop little stuff in there, but it's like, are we going to get that?
Well, they dropped Miles Morales in there by dropping the Prowler in there. Because the Prowler's Miles Morales.
And he mentions that he got a nephew. So he did mention he has a nephew, which was a complete hint.
So they drop stuff, and then you just don't know when they're going to pull it. Because how many years ago was that?
Hey, I ain't going to lie, bro.
At least 5.
I'm not going to lie, bro. Before Shang-Chi, Iron Man had that group and they hinted at they coming. The what's the name group from Shang-Chi?
Very true.
They hinted them coming, and then they made the special in which they kidnapped the guy who was pretending to be him in 2010, 2011. So they're like, we are the real ones, so we kidnapped them.
I didn't even know that.
They dropped this little mini
But I know they tied in like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that wasn't super popular. That we got because we got a splash of Inhumans in there. Like I know they've used the Inhuman property before, but I know it was bad when they did.
That was terrible. And then that ultimately led to Kevin Feige getting full control because how bad that was. People don't remember that.
Yeah, because the Inhumans flopped, but Kevin Feige could be the one, because I need to see Black Bolt in an MCU
because people
movie.
forget.
I just needed him to shout down one mountain.
Yeah, people forget that it was MCU and then Marvel Entertainment, and Marvel Entertainment handled TV and MCU.
Two separate.
And then they put out that horrible Inhuman show, and then they like, you fired, and then gave Kevin Feige the whole control.
Shout out.
Now
To
give me Black Bolt and Medusa. I can like.
Was it Shield? Was Shield the first like live action show that was put out by Mickey Mouse?
I think with Marvel IP, I think it was the first live action show.
The first few years was amazing, and then they got weird.
Yeah, the first couple of years.
That before CGI came involved, and they started not using CGI right.
Yeah, they were still using live.
Will we ever
cuts and stuff? Because I remember when What's Her Face got her powers, they were still the CGI was with it.
Daisy Quake,
will
Chloe Bennett.
Page ever?
Oh yeah, they already got it on. They got it on Disney Plus.
No, I'm talking about after. I'm talking about after that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see it. They wouldn't put it on decent. They wouldn't put it on. They wouldn't bring Charlie Cox out and put them out if they did. The only one that might be changed is Iron Fist because he was unpopular. Everybody else was kind of popular.
We thought Iron Fist was gonna go, and it didn't. It did. After episode 3,
they picked the worst.
They did my boy Danny wrong. I'm still not over.
They picked the worst actor I've ever seen. That's the only Marvel character I'm like, yo, that actor is not Iron Fist.
My name is Danny, and I get my ass.
But he sort of looked like Iron Fist, though. That's the part that messed it up.
Even though his acting was terrible, Tor.
His acting was bad, but he looked like Danny.
What's that movie he was in? What was that movie he was in before? And he was terrible in that too. That TV show.
I don't know. I know he ruined Iron Fist for me, so I ain't checked for him since.
They even tried to push him on Ultimate Spider-Man. When you make it on Ultimate Spider-Man, they are really pushing for you, and they even kind of ruined him in that.
What's his name?
He's a hard character to get right because he's literally cultural appropriation. Like he's a white dude who has completely absorbed Chinese kung fu into himself in all aspects. And
Finn Jones. Let's do Finn Jones.
And he never acted. He never acted again.
I'm trying to see.
After you mess up a Marvel property, you don't deserve to act again.
Because they make it literally impossible for you to fail. Like
that's why Fox had to give up the X-Men after Dark Phoenix. I will never. That is the worst comic book movie ever. It's worse than the Superman films of the early 90s.
The cast was great. It was terribly produced.
Oh, the cast was fire. The story was just.
He was on Game of Thrones, and he was terrible in that too.
Yeah, he played. Did he play Theon in Game of Thrones? Who'd he play?
I'm trying to see. What was this? I'm looking for Julian Bell. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Loris Tyrell.
He was the Knight of Flowers.
Yeah, you don't remember him from the show. That's how bad he was. You just forgot he was the.
I remember the Knight of Flowers from the books because George R.R. Martin's writing is top.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
But
they killed him.
The TV show was lacking after season 6. It was all downhill.
They killed him. They killed him off so quickly.
They couldn't have. See, he had a whole in the books. He had a whole extracurricular love interest outside of Renly Baratheon.
Yeah, he was terrible. How you terrible in Luke Cage? He was on Sleeping Beauty, and you remember he was so bad in that.
Nope, I don't remember Sleeping Beauty.
Was he gassed? Well, he wasn't gassed off, was he?
Yeah, he was the Beast. He was gassed off.
Oh, he was the Beast.
Oh, so that's Beauty and the Beast, not Sleeping Beauty.
I mean, yeah, Beauty and the Beast, whatever it is. What? No, he was Sleeping Beauty. It was Sleeping the Beauty.
The Huntsman?
I don't know. He was terrible in everything. I don't remember this dude.
He ruined Iron Fist, though.
He's ruined what do you call it? Fairy tales and Marvel comics. I mean, and comic book characters alike. You are
and amazing fantasy literature when you get to A Song of Ice and Fire.
You ruined a great literature.
It's every great writing style of the last century you have
for this. Who keeps saying you're perfect for this part? You got the job. Who keeps doing this?
He sort of worked as the Knight of Flowers to begin with, though. Honestly,
and he died.
He made that work. He's a Loris Tyrell before he's a Danny Rand any day.
Oh no, Danny, that was terrible. He should never do it again. Let us know your thoughts. We talked about MoonKnight, but then we got into other things, but it was fun.
We went live. We wasn't gonna go live for 8 minutes to be like, hey man, this is a good setup episode. Come on, man. But now we
it was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Really amazing, bro.
I didn't have high hopes for it.
It was really good, and they told me episode 3 is when it really take off and go crazy. So they like look forward to that. Because if you sooner or later, one day we gonna get those early looks at the shows, and they gave them 4 episodes. All the Grace Randolphs and all of them got 4 episodes. So
just wait for my MJF interview. It's coming soon. I'm gonna show y'all what a real heel looks like.
Let's go, and we'll be. All 3 of us will be here Saturday and Sunday for WrestleMania.
You got some wrestling to watch. I'm gonna what y'all bring?
WrestleMania
wings, dog. Some maybe a piece.
We doing
maybe a piece.
Saturday and Sunday pieces.
I definitely got. I'll go the order and pizza route like I always do because it's easy and the pizza place is right down the road. They usually quick. Maybe Chinese. They're both close.
Man who lives right behind essentially a block full of a food court.
I was gonna say I got 5 Guys, Pizza Hut, Dairy Queen, McDonald's.
Bro, I gotta go 30 miles to go get food, bro. What's going on?
No, I gotta go like 20 steps, bro. I can literally walk to any multitude of restaurants. IHOP.
Yo, Tori, Joe Googled my hometown and like, y'all got awards in the subway and that's it? That's all we got, dog.
That's bad. Oh, I got a Subway down the road too. Also, I just thought about that.
Also, while we're here, before we get off of here, I want to say I apologize to the state of Mississippi for saying y'all didn't have comic books.
Pearl, but I tell you, the police gonna arrest you every time they see you in Pearl. Not joke.
There's no way y'all had comic books, man. I used to get picked mine up in Missouri.
Look, Joe was serious too. He was like, "You ain't gonna downplay my boy Tony like that. He's a real one."
I have to apologize. I had the Tony Stark fandom.
That's how you know Joe's a scumbag at heart. He was trying to take up hard for the alcoholic woman beater. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "Let my dog live. That was the past." We were like,
We're about to.
I don't know.
We're about to get out of here. See y'all this weekend. Well,
be lit, bro. It's gonna be fun as hell. They're gonna be educating me the whole time.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna be watching. I know I'm
probably gonna curse if they gotta do this right, or we got a lot.
Well, I might not. That might not be monetized. So this one is monetized. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you like wrestling, we'll be a Saturday, Sunday. Tomorrow, be here for Just the Fan. Friday, be here for Man Cave, and tomorrow also be here for the Bel Air finale. Let's go.
Yeah, we got a finale this week.
Yeah,
y'all.
So we reviewing shows and
somebody getting smacked.
And then
they're gonna add that scene in.
And then we're gonna have Atlanta the week after. So I gotta catch up on my Atlanta talk. We also got, and then of course we'll be live again for MoonKnight next week. So if you enjoy the show, be prepared to be back here next week. And I
want everybody to know that Danny, what's his name? Danny
Rand.
Oh no, the boy Danny Glover. Wait,
Glover. With the baldy now.
Donald
Glover. I'm sorry, Donald Glover has way more respect out here than Jordan Peele when it comes to thrillers. I'm done.
Y'all argue.
You talking wild?
Joe said argue with your mother. Yeah, peace.